Okay, so you're going to have to excuse me. I'm absolutely filthy. Bugsy and I came to the studio last night. We got a lift here because I don't have a vehicle any longer, and I couldn't really get a zip car or, you know, whatever. Anyway, I got a lift here last night. We set up the studio last night, got a pretty good night's sleep, woke up and got to work, but I'm still wearing the clothes that I was wearing yesterday when I got here. I slept in this, so I'm sweaty and icky and I've got paint all over me, but I love it. I love being here and I love working. Now, unfortunately, it took me almost all day to find this space in my head and in my heart where I can just get the painting to work. I've been struggling with her face. It's been a nightmare. But I ended up lowering her eye. I relaxed my mind and relaxed my heart enough to start to breathe in the image. And I've been listening to Voodoo Sister. That's who I'm painting here. I've been listening to their music. Breathe it in. Let it flow. Let the paint flow. Don't stick with one. You know, this is what I've been working on all day. Is let it flow. Let it flow. Don't. You know, push, which I did. But now it's to the point where it can flow. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time, and I'll have to leave here in a while, which is really unfortunate. This fall and this winter, when I finally got my first studio, I had a truck, I had time, I had a little bit of money so that I could just work. And now I'm down to limited time, no vehicle, trying to get rides here or take the bus, which can take 2 to 3 hours just to get to my studio, and then it's going home. But anyway, I know what I wanted to talk about. It wasn't just about complaining. It was, you know, it's taken me all day to relax myself enough to just work. And, you know, I've been talking with people online about the value in being an artist. And I don't think people really understand not only the value of being an artist, but how difficult it is. I think people think of artists as being like 5-year-olds, and you guys just color all day long and you play with stuff. They think they understand because they did it in kindergarten, in elementary school, and in high school it was a way to ditch another class. You know, I took drawing, so I understand. You know, it was so dumb. I drew oranges. And, you know, so people think that from that perspective, from the perspective they have in grade school, that they understand what it is to be an artist. And they don't. Most people don't really understand the value of being an artist and how difficult it can be, not just in painting. You know, trying to find that magic space where you get the painting to work, or you get the ceramic to work, or the glass to work, or the steel to work, or whatever. You know, you get that idea to just flow instead of, you know, fighting it, which some days, like today, you know, a 12-hour day of me going, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get her face right? Why can't I get this right? Why does it all feel typically abstract and just amateurish? In the last hour, everything has finally come together where I'm able to do her stockings, and I've got her face right, and I'm getting the colors right. It's not just that. What I do here, and I'm not just tooting my own horn, what I do here, although it will be for a second, what I do here is something I've never seen before. And I've never had anyone say, oh, that's just like. What I'm doing, it wasn't intentional, I fell into it. It's layer upon layer upon layer, and it's puzzles, and puzzles with lines and puzzles with colors. And it's a new way of painting. It's a new way of seeing things. I could go on the computer and do this. For me, having the computer find the layers, or, you know, photoshopping and cutting, that's cheating. this is highly complex, whole new way of painting, and it's all mine. Now, from this, someone else will see this and make it into another hybrid. Like this is a hybrid of several different styles. Not that I meant to, it just kind of happened. But someone else, someone who may not even be born yet, might see one of these images that I paint and take it to another level. So it's a hybrid. So what I'm saying is, in art, it's not just coloring, it's building. And it's building from artist to artist to artist to artist to artist. And this has been going on since we decided to paint horses on cave walls, since we decided to make pottery, since we decided that there was actually fashion in the things that we drape over our bodies, since we decided that houses can be more than just a building or a shelter. Artists have contributed to society all throughout history, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. In this economy, we are responsible for trillions of dollars. It's not coloring. It's not hanging on the, something that you hang on the wall. It is the heart of culture, the heart of society. It's what makes us human. Artists, what we do, decides what our world looks like, the entire world looks like. We decide what you're packaging, what your cereal is packaged in. That's designed by an artist. The camera that I'm using right now was designed by an artist. The clock that's ticking in the background was actually made by a friend of mine, Craig, an artist. The futon that I slept on, that was designed by an artist. My socks, the pillows, my messy, messy, messy shirt, artist. Glasses, artist. Everything that's man-made was made by an artist. So, way about 5-10 minutes ago, I don't even know, I've been hearing a lot of comments about, kind of disparaging comments about artists, and it goes on all the time. Oh, you're just, why don't you get a real job? Oh, how can you expect people to buy stuff they don't need? That was a comment I read this morning. It really gets my ire up, because we do need the arts. We do need artists. We do need to keep pushing forward in the arts. We do need to, I feel, show respect for the artist. We're producing the product that is going to determine how we see ourselves today and tomorrow. Artists are one of the most valuable occupations a person can choose. Unfortunately, we are told by people who think being an artist is coloring, like they did in kindergarten, we're told that it isn't of value, that it doesn't really matter, that it's not a job. It is a job, and it is probably the most important job we have, well, except for engineering, the most important job we have in the entire world and throughout history. I think we deserve a lot more respect than we get, and I think we need to demand it. But unfortunately, those kids that were back in kindergarten stuffing the crayons up their nose have the upper hand and have somehow been able to define our stature. I posted on Facebook this morning on a friend's page that people don't go to Egypt because they want to see, they want to learn about the accountant who took care of the bookkeeping when the pyramids were being built. They want to see the pyramids. That's art. Yes, it was built by slaves, but that's art. People don't go to Rome. People don't go to Rome to see the Vatican because it's a basic shelter. They go to see the artistry. Thousands and thousands of artists have built that magnificent city over time. Washington, D.C. was designed in this beautiful architecture. Artists. Manhattan wouldn't exist without the arts. I don't know how many different ways I can express how important it is to be an artist. We are the heart and soul of society, of culture, of the human race. And we color. But we have to keep taking our coloring forward. Keep pushing our creativity forward. Even at the expense of showering and getting clean clothes. Ciao.